What up, everybody? Happy Wednesday evening. Hope all is well with everyone. Y'all doing all right? Midweek, everybody good? Listen, we are in the thick of the Big Ten Media Days. It was a little boring today. I tuned in a little bit as background noise, and I'm like, this just ain't the same without Old State and their representation there. Boo. Although I did love the Penn State love. I love the Penn State love. Keep it coming. We got 10 days. I'm sorry, actually 9 days until fall camp. That's coming up quick, y'all. Coming up quick. And then we got 38 Brandon Joe days until kickoff versus Texas. Anybody know who that is? Fullback on the 2000 through 2004 Ohio State team. He was a bruising blocker, and he was actually a pretty nimble runner. He was a fullback, but he ran the ball. And he's a good dude. I used to hoot with this dude almost every day at LA Fitness. Great guy, Brandon, if you're out there. Plus, he has a great first name. If you're out there, brother, holla at me. It's been a minute since we got up. But yes, also make sure you like this video. Click that like button and subscribe. Matter of fact, that's what y'all should do. Y'all should just be like, it should be like, you know, what you just do automatically once you come into the video, into the chat. But also remember, speaking of chats, our super chats go to our pay it forward military first responders. We take care of them because they take care of us. So very important. And listen, we're going to go. I can't talk. We're going to go ahead and get it going. All right. We're going to talk about a 5-star commitment that's coming soon. We're going to touch on it. I'm very excited about this. And I think somebody else is excited about it too. Nevada, how you feeling, brother?
I'm feeling good. Yeah, you're right. The Big Ten Media Days is not the same
At all.
without the Buckeyes. The venue though for the Big Ten Media Days, the fact that we're this national conference now and can have Big Ten Media Days in Las Vegas or whatever, and it makes sense. It's part of our footprint. It's crazy. I mean, it's absolutely wild that can happen, and we truly are a national conference, but. No, and I agree with your assessment that look, they can go and glaze Oregon, Penn State, and these other schools. I want Ohio State to kind of sneak up. I think we do some of our best work when we're coming from behind. 2002. Nobody had us on the radar. I think we were like 14-1 at the beginning of the season. In 2014, after we lost to Virginia Tech, we were 100-1 to get back to the thing. So. Write us off. Write us off last year after we lost to Michigan. Nobody was on the Ohio State train. They were just trying to figure out when we were going to get put out of the playoff. And I think most people had us losing in the first round to Tennessee. So yeah, I talk all you want about Drew Aller, talk about Oregon, do what it is, and let's let the Buckeyes kind of sneak up on people and do their business.
Yep. And also, again, I'm a press conference boy. I listen to all the boring interviews, but I listen for a reason because I pick up on stuff. And one recurring theme that the players are saying is, we hear the noise. We hear, people aren't giving us a chance and they're doubting us. Sonny Styles kept saying, prove the doubters wrong. So that's in the locker room. This is a working thing in the locker room, y'all. These boys, they're preaching that they're hungry, that they're not defending no ship. They can't take that ship. They're just trying to get their own and stamp their own legacy, all of that stuff. So Penn State, who has proven nothing with James Franklin as far as winning big games and getting over the hump, now has the target on their back, and they got to come here to Columbus. And I absolutely love it. I love the Arch Manning talk. I love all of that. It's just beautiful. It's perfect fodder for Ryan Day in this locker room to get ready for Texas. Big bad Texas and Sark coming in here on August 30th. So that's definitely great stuff. But yeah, so we're going to, the title is a massive 5-star commitment incoming. And I definitely want to get into this because there's recruits in this class already that I love. I've talked about Sam Greer. I mean, he's up there. I would even say who would be my next? Wilder. I mean, I love both of them. The receivers, obviously, but this kid that we're going to dive into is probably my favorite. And he's committing next month. And the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Buckeye Scoop feel really really good about this kid in Nevada. I'm gonna let you let the cat out the bag. What's your thoughts on the recruit that referring to, brother?
Well, I mean, we're talking about Braylon Womack. I think, depending on how you rank him, the number two. We already have the number one safety in the country in Blaine Bradford from Louisiana, but Womack, out of Mississippi, another place that I don't think I can ever. Can you ever remember us getting a recruit out of Mississippi in all your years of following Buckeye? I mean, I can't remember it.
Nope.
So, I mean, it just, times they are a changing, but Womack's a kid that really has wanted to come to Ohio State, just really just been trying to get Ohio State to kind of make the NIL deals make sense, just kind of bring him into line with some of the other things that they don't have to be top dollar, but it just can't, the canyon can't be so vast between Ohio State and the other potential patrons. And now with this new, ruling on the deal, where you can use kind of soft money via via the collectives or some sort of entity that you set up like Ohio State has to kind of mirror the activity of the collective. I think Ohio State's going to be able to meet the needs, and it seems very like Ohio State is very bullish that they're going to land this young man. I believe his commitment date is August 21st,
Yeah.
which has some meaning to him personally. And I think he's going to be jumping on. So you would have a 5-star safety from Louisiana and a 5-star safety from Mississippi
Crazy.
joining the Ohio State defense. I mean, that is crazy. I mean, when we talk about, Ohio State as a national brand or the hot brand or things like that, I could see people tuning in and just saying, "Oh, wow, Nevada and B, that's just hyperbole. That's just you guys, talking about how good things are at Ohio State." This is evidence that this is we went into Mississippi and got a player. We went into Louisiana, and the only player I can remember us getting out of Louisiana was like Nader Abdullah or whatever I mean, like, was that the only player that we've ever gotten out of Louisiana that you can remember? I think you are muted right now, there, B Moses.
Hold on. Yes. So the DB, this one's a little tricky because the DB that we got that transfer, what's his name? Starts with a J. He was from Cincinnati, but he was playing high school
Oh
ball in
yeah,
Louisiana. You know
yeah.
what I'm talking about?
That was a weird one. That was a
Yeah, that
weird one.
was. So that's the only one I can think of because I remember Nader Abdallah. I think he was here back in what, '08, like
It was
two.
it was I mean, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
You were a little Sprout. You were like little, not even B Moses. You were like little Brandon back then or something like that.
Yeah, that was a minute ago. So I mean, so to your point, yeah, that's insane. Mississippi and Louisiana,
That's
especially
crazy.
Mississippi. I mean, that's really off the radar.
That's
And
Southern,
yeah,
very
that's
Southern.
that's real. When I think Mississippi, I think just the big belly defensive tackle that's just gonna line up and just slug you. But this kid, man, and
No,
I'll just
no,
quick.
no, no,
Oh, go ahead.
Have you ever
Yeah,
been down to Ole Miss before? Have you ever been
I
down there
haven't.
before?
I've never been to Mississippi.
Okay, now let me
Have
tell you.
you?
I
Okay.
have. I have. You got to go down there. That's got to be on your bucket list of things to do. Only because, and let me tell you, I'm going to give you a little pro tip here. You
All right.
can't wear like a jersey or something like that. They dress up to go to the games there.
Oh yes, I've seen. Yes, it's like a cocktail party down there.
It's like a big cocktail party,
I've
and it's
seen
like
that.
the prettiest girls. I mean, not saying B Moses is married, but I'm just saying you got to go down there and represent, and you're looking good. I mean, it's really quite the scene down there, and it's so crazy because the contrast between that and like an Ohio State like tailgate game day type of experience, it couldn't be more stark. I mean, it's a completely different thing down there. So, but yeah, just I digress. Every now and then I take us off the given path on this thing. But going down to Ole Miss is definitely it's a fun experience to go down there, check out a game. I can't remember us ever getting a player out of there, and to get this isn't just a player. This is a 5-star consensus, probably number one player in the state type of thing. And we're pulling them from Ole Miss, from Mississippi State, from Alabama, from Georgia, from Louisiana State, from all those other schools coming to Ohio State. Absolutely insanity. And really speaks volumes about how strong the Ohio State brand is.
Definitely, definitely. And also, not only that, y'all, this kid and his family are just phenomenal people. Now, but the Buckeye boys, they do work. I mean, they do work. They've interviewed his dad, several times. I mean, they're pretty much, because the Buckeye boys have you know, um, the dad pod, right? So they get the players' parents, like recruits and everything. They're really in the mix. And this Walmack family, we talked about culture fits on the show, a lot. And this kid is a culture fit. He is a Buckeye. A lot of people look at him as Caleb Downs 2.0, not just on the field, but even off the field with his character. And his dad really reflects that. I haven't got a chance to to talk to the mom or to interact. But awesome family. This is who we're talking about when we say culture fit. So you got a 5-star, great kid, great family, a faith type of family. It's just a perfect fit. So we feel really, really good about Braylon Walmack. And this kid is my favorite recruit in this class. He's the number one guy for me. And again, that's a tough call because we got some dogs and some really, really good kids. But I really like Braylon Walmack and his family. And I just see him stepping in, taking the torch from Caleb and Abuka and those he's one of those type of guys, in my opinion. And he's a dog. I mean, he can play. He's so versatile and athletic and has great ball skills and all of that. And as far as the huddle film, Nevada, very short clips on Walmack. So I'm gonna play a couple more, but not lengthy clips. But the dude has just amazing ability and great character. So I'm excited about this kid.
Well, it is funny because you'll go across certain kids through the recruiting process, and you're like, "Oh, this is an Ohio State kind of kid. This is the
Yeah,
kind of," and that's how I felt about Abuka when people, when he was, coming through the thing, out of Washington, and people were wondering whether we are going to get him or not, and I was like, "Oh no, we're getting we're getting him." Like, he's a kid. Womack's the same type of kid. Womack, that entire family, they love the Buckeyes. They love everything about the Buckeyes, and the faith stuff. We don't talk about it a lot, and it had kind of gotten, I don't say ridiculed a little bit last year, but we got some. There's some negative feedback from some people talking about, is that, can you be a person of faith and be tough, or is it making, are we softies, or are we doing this
crazy.
or whatever it was? And yeah, it was insane. And I think for Ohio State, they put it out there. They don't shy from it. They lean into it, and they say, look, this is what we're about here. And I think it's, when you get kids like that, when you get families like that, man, they just, they want to be there. They want to stick. They want to come, and they come from crazy places like Mississippi, all the way to Columbus, Ohio. So yeah, I'm excited about them as well. I just, I've been hoping, against hope, that the money would work out, that they could be. This isn't an NIL family, but like, you can't have the orders of difference be just magnitudes different. They have to be at least in the ballpark. And I think, for them, part of it's respect, part of it's just, simple, finances. Like, hey, we don't need top dollar, but at least make it worth our while to come up that
Right.
way. And so the changes that have been made, the changes they've announced for Ohio State, I think it's freed up some additional money. So I think you're going to see Ohio State in this class, circle back on some kids that they, may have been out of the first time around, maybe didn't have enough resources to make a serious run at, and other ones that they're going to be able to close the deal at. Womack would be in the category of closing the deal, get that, and I think that we get a, big 5-star commitment here in the next month, and somebody that everybody in Ohio State land should be really excited about this kid, because, like I said, great kid, great family, going to be a great Buckeye.
Absolutely. And just for the record, because we've talked about the different kids and how some of them are like highest bidder kids, and that's their prerogative. Everything that we gleaned from this situation, following this recruitment, and talking to the parent and dealing with them, they're not a highest bidder kid. They're a hey, let's respect the NIL to let's get, like Nevada said, let's get it to a respectable level, competitive, but they're not a highest bidder kid. So, again, just those are the kids we're going after. And this one is like the best example of that. The full package on and off the field. and not a strictly an NIL kid. And Ohio State's going to do what they're going to do to hook him up, but it's not a highest bidder situation. He wants to go to a program that fits his culture of his home, and what he feels like he can do to excel on and off the field. So I'm just super excited about this kid and his family being added to the fold, because again, it is culture over currency here at Ohio State. And so, yeah, definitely excited about Braylon. Now, you said, Nevada, you said that the commitment date is August 21st, right?
I think I want to say that's right. Don't
Because I
hold a
think it
gun.
changed. I think he just moved it up. I think it
Did
was
it?
before that.
Okay,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
I like I said, I could have bad info on that. I always say timing these things is always dicey, but I may have the timing. I may have the timing wrong on that. So
No,
if
you're
it's
good.
moved,
You're actually right. You're right. It is the 21st. Dev said he changed it to the 21st. So it was a
okay.
different day. So you're correct.
So Nevada Buck is correct. Nevada Buck
Yes,
has got the breaking information, man. Okay, good day for Nevada Buck right now.
absolutely. And then also, I thought you were going to say something, but real quick, while I'm thinking about it, this is still recruiting related because I mentioned Dev. Nevada, do you remember a couple of pods ago, somebody asked about recruiting and the recruiting pitch that Michigan is doing with recruits? And I talked to Devin about that, and he told me they did a whole show. The Buckeye boys did a whole show on this. I didn't catch that pod, but basically he said, I'll tell you what he said. He said basically that Michigan is telling recruits that there's nothing that's going to happen that will affect their time at Michigan. So they're just flat out not telling them any inkling of a potential hammer or any sanctions that, postseason, none of that stuff. It's just up, you're going to be fine here. Nothing's going to affect you. So either they believe, okay, just to be charitable, either they actually are delusional enough, excuse me, to believe that, or they're just flat out just telling them that just to get them to come. So I forget who asked that question, but there's your answer. That's what's being told. This is coming from parents. This is coming from, like recruits. This is a direct source to answer your question. And Nevada, are you surprised about that?
Well, I guess as kind of a corollary, I was going to ask because I don't follow exactly what the Michigan people are saying in the Michigan beat writers and stuff, but are any Michigan beat writers now still dug in on the position that Michigan's not going to get substantial penalties? And I mean, are they saying that, or are they just being silent right now? Because from what I'm reading, it just seems like they're being silent because you've got a lot of people, a lot of smart people on the other side of that, like ourselves, Intrinsic, Justin Spiro, Premier Drum. A lot of people that are going, "Oh no, you're about to get hammered." Are the Michigan guys doubling down on the fact that they're not going to get hammered, or is it kind of all quiet on the Western Front?
Well, that's a good question because I don't follow Scam Web and
Yeah,
Balas. I get information as it comes
yeah,
down my
yeah,
feed.
yeah.
So it's like it's kind of hard to tell what their latest thing is. But put it like this: last time I heard Scam Webb open his mouth, he was mocking the fact that there will be a hammer. Him and a couple other goobers on the podcast could have been, I don't know, a week and a half ago. They were mocking it. So there's Scam Webb, and then of course Ballas. In my opinion, he tries to be almost cryptic to where he's like he'll say something that I'm like, ooh, hold on, you wasn't saying that last week, but then he won't come right out with it. It's almost like he's afraid and he's kind of just like, oh, something might be coming, but I got to stand strong. That's how he kind of comes off to me. And then, of course, Isaiah Hole, you know who that is, right? Of
Yeah,
course you
yeah,
do.
yeah. That's
Yeah,
Stallion's boy.
yes, exactly. The latest I saw from him was flat out denial. Like this is nothing. Like, so those are three major guys in their little beat that come off mocking and not really concerned about it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, because the Bowless kind of double talk, saying stuff that could mean about 19 different things, so he can claim victory no
right.
matter what happens. I mean, yeah, that's the one that I'm probably the closest to or see. But Yeah, to me, it's been kind of notable that I haven't heard the the flat denials, but I'd love to get them on record in terms of saying that because you know we're getting pretty close. I mean, it's getting pretty close to the time when all accounts are going to be said. We're going to find out who's got better sources, guys. So it's pretty close to closing time.
Well, honestly, Nevada, let me be a little more. Let me kind of zoom in on this a little more to really bring this home. Because just because I haven't really heard nothing specific in the past few days from them, I can say this with confidence. None of them have said they're going to get serious sanctions. Like, I know that for a fact. Like, none of them believe it's going to be anything serious. So they're on record. We can go to Scam Web with interviews with Ward Manuel. Of course, Balas is still he's typed up long, goofy letters or articles, I should say, on his site, basically laughing at the notion of the hammer crowd. I mean, so Nevada, it's out there. Their stance is clear. Even though they may have not said anything recently, it is crystal clear. They don't think they're getting anything. And then also the Wolverine Insider. No, I'm sorry. The Winged Helmet. They got a pretty big following. They just came out a couple of days ago, and one of the Michigan fans tagged me on the post, to for his victory lap for Tony Patini's letter. They had like a 10-minute breakdown of how they were victorious and see, nothing's going to happen. So Nevada, it's done. The battleground is drawn. They have been clear about the fact that nothing's going to happen. So there it is.
Because it's funny because my Michigan guys are starting to backtrack now. They're all kind of going to they're doing the backstroke. So when I'm talking to them and I'm like, "Hey, you still on the nothing's going to happen?" They're like, "Well, what I'll say is that if something does happen, we were just misled, and we were lied to, and stuff. So I'm not saying anything's going to happen, but I am saying if it does happen, it wasn't because I was giving you bad information. It was because I was misled by someone at Michigan. So I'm starting to sense the backtrack in there, and I just wondered if that had kind of leaked into the mainstream because I can tell you that is going on full speed ahead from heavy people in administration at Michigan, the people that are in a position to know they're starting to hedge and starting to use all those kind of the mealy mouth words about stuff. And yeah, that's athletics, and that's on them. If this comes down, it doesn't reflect on the total university, that kind of stuff. So I was just wondering if you'd kind of sensed any of that as well.
Nope. So your guys, your Michigan people, Spiro's Michigan people, Premier Drums Michigan people are all in line. We're hearing the same thing as far as them being concerned, them ready for this to be over so they can
Yep.
get rid of the riffraffs. All of that is consistent. But what's also consistent is the guys on the front line of the blue wall. There's two guys I didn't mention that are big ones. Actually, well, I mentioned one of them, Isaiah Ho, but he agrees with Steve Deace. You know who Steve Deace is, right?
Yep.
He's another big mouthpiece that swears this is a psyop. Him and Isaiah Ho recently repeated this is a psyop. I mean, they are dug in all the way. And listen, Steve Deace, I'm not a political person at all. I'm the most nonpartisan person you're going to meet on this planet. That's exaggerating, but you see my point. He's a political guy. I mean, listen, I respect he has some intelligence. Like, he tries to use some critical thinking sometimes, but when it comes to this, he has checked out Nevada completely of critical thinking and any objectivity at all. I mean, he's just wacky with it. He just it's crazy. So with that said, I think he's really going to be the one to take it the hardest. On his the meltdown is going to be epic when it actually comes down because I think he really, in his heart of hearts, because remember, I followed him for some years now. Remember, he was at a point before they started cheating where he would go to the movies during the game to not watch the game and just get away from the impending doom of losing to Ohio State. I mean, it was so sad. And he used to make breakdown, like meltdown, crash out videos. And so, Yeah, he's dug in, man. So anyway, I say that to say the blue wall frontline folks, none of them are being are even saying, you know what? I hope nothing comes down. This seems a little fishy. None of them, Nevada. None of them. Like it's just like la 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 la, like whistling past the graveyard. Like
Oh my
it's
gosh.
it's so weird, man. But anyway, yeah. So there's that.
That well, I love it. I love it. I mean, hey, look, things are things are coming down. Things are coming down quickly. Hey, I saw. Did you see the Ohio State is finally kind of wising up to the whole idea of these big non-conference games don't help us. They're kind of waking up to that right now. No, they are. They come in and they said now this is like Nevada Buck. It's like Nevada Bucks got into their head where they're like, hey, if we can't get the auto qualifiers, if we can't get 4 auto qualifiers out of this thing, we should just adopt the SEC style of doing it and just have one, only have games against Furman and
UTEP.
Villanova and UTEP and whomever else. UTEP too good. You need to like, yeah, like Texas Institute of gemology or something like that. So yeah, I just I don't think these games help anymore. And I think it was just nice to see Ohio State figure that out and start talking about, because as a fan, we want to make the playoff. I want to make the playoff, and I know people talk about, oh, I love the big games and I love I love the excitement and wow, it's so excited we're playing Arch Manning. I'll be totally honest with you. I wish we were playing Mercer week 1. I do. And I don't care if the game was going to be 78-0 and unexciting because I love seeing the young guys get in there. I want to see Julian Sain throw 6 touchdown passes in the first half. And I don't want a tough game. I just don't want a tough game. We get plenty of tough games. The season is full of tough games. Going to Washington, going to Illinois, going to Wisconsin, going to
Yeah.
Michigan. Those are tough games. I got plenty of tough games. Playing against Penn State at home. That's a tough game. And that doesn't even include the Big Ten championship game and then 4 playoff games. You know what I'm saying? I get plenty of
Hmm.
tough games. Why am I throwing another tough game on us voluntarily? It doesn't make sense. But it was really good to see Ohio State kind of embracing this idea that, something, if something doesn't change, we're gonna have to go to our thing. Because Indiana bought out of all their big games. They're not doing them anymore because they know their path to the playoff is an easy schedule. Get the easiest schedule, go 10-2. If you go 10-2, you're in the playoff. And for Ohio State, you go 9-3, and you're at risk. And I just, I don't know what your thoughts on. Are you a big game crowd or are you a surest win person?
I'm kind of torn, and I got the schedule up on the screen for everybody to see because yes, it just I'll answer that in a second. So to your point with this whole SEC and Big Ten and getting on the same page thing, I mean Ryan Day and Bjork are on like they're lockstep, they're adamant. I mean, and of course Tony Petitti. It's just like, listen, we're not going to budge on this 9-game conference thing. We're not budging. Ryan Day in the interviews at Media Day articulated it extremely well. He broke it down that the disadvantage of having 9 games versus 8 when you're he didn't say this, but he was basically, in my opinion, saying, hey, you're dialing up a win, the second to last week, regular season week of the year. And it's just like, okay, that's an advantage for you. Why would we? So with that said, I'm absolutely over the moon excited about this Texas game, Nevada. I went to the Notre Dame game a couple years ago. Amazing. So I love the big games and I would love to keep them, but not at the expense of putting ourselves behind the 8 ball in comparison to others, with this new playoff format. Because now to me, it's like my goal is to make the playoffs. Make the playoffs. My goal is not even Big Ten title. And listen, I know somebody's going to just want to kill me and wring my neck. I want to win the Big Ten title. But even Ryan Day brought that up. He said, we need to look at that. Like, does it make sense with this new format? And, he doesn't dishonor the Big Ten title. I mean, it's great. But national championship is at the top of the list. Okay. So it's like we got to rethink these things with the format. And that includes big games if it doesn't make sense in this landscape. So I hope that kind of answers the question, because I love both, but not more than playoffs and a national championship run. You feel me? Because honestly, Nevada, give me Mercer week 1, but on the back end, you got Tennessee, Oregon, Notre Dame, and Texas. You know, those are all huge games, but you don't get to play them if you're not in the playoffs. And if you win a huge game in the regular season, it doesn't matter if you don't make the playoffs or if you lose that game. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well,
hope
I
that
just
makes
wish,
sense.
yeah, I just wish that they would, I mean, the common sense approach to this is make strength of schedule matter. Like,
Yeah,
make strength of schedule matter. Don't just do it by the number of losses that you have, and find some meaningful way to rank strength of schedule so that when you go and you lose by 1 point at Outson Stadium, that
right,
doesn't that doesn't you basically disqualify you from being over somebody that you beat, like Penn State was last year. That was the biggest joke ever. That genuinely upset me that they did that. And I see it again this year with the type of schedule that we have, and playing Texas the first week. We're not doing ourselves any favors. And getting it running into that run. If you're gonna have Michigan the last game of the year and then into a Big Ten championship game and then potentially a 14 playoff, well, why not have week 11 be Mercer? Why not have week 11 be Villanova? What I'm
right.
saying? Give yourself a break. Give yourself a chance to kind of catch your breath, rest your starters, get your guys healthy. Because by that time, by week 11, everybody's banged up. Everybody's banged up to some degree. And I just think, I mean, the SEC's, they're not, the SEC, they don't play around. I mean, they talk about the SEC, it just means more. Well, it does. It just means more. They're a little bit smarter. They're a little bit more ruthless. They've done it with roster management, gray shirting, oversigning, analysts. I mean, they've done it across the board, but scheduling's kind of their last domain right now, where they've got us on scheduling. And I just think that we've got to be equally ruthless in terms of doing it. If it means dropping big out of conference games in flavor of cupcakes, you know what? I'm okay with it, because you added USC, UCLA, Oregon, and Washington in the mix. So
Yeah,
we get plenty of big games every single, and now it's like an Ohio State UCLA game is even a game. That's just another conference game.
true.
But like, we get plenty of big games. I don't I love the big games, but I love winning more. I want to see us be in the best possible shape going into the game against Michigan, going to the medals, going to the playoffs. So for me, I would jettison all those games if it was me, but that's just my humble opinion.
No, I agree. And real quick to your point, looking at the schedule, and it's funny, Nevada. I was looking. One of my homies, Mike, sent me a screenshot of something on social media where an SEC fan. It was on YouTube. Colin Cowherd was talking to Ryan Day in an interview, and Colin Cowherd was talking about how tough our schedule was. Right, Ohio State schedule was tough, and the SEC fan on the comments said something about your schedule's not tough. And he said something, he used an example like Illinois playing South Carolina. South Carolina would beat Illinois because, Illinois is getting some buzz. And then somebody beneath the comment, they said, well, Illinois just beat South Carolina in the bowl game last year, dummy. Like, so SEC fans are so just myopic, and they still pushed it. They pedal this SEC is just better. Man, listen, Illinois is going to be good this year. I'm nervous about that game, Nevada. That is the number one. I can't really call it a trap game because they're probably going to be ranked and they're getting hype, but I'm concerned about that game. We got Texas at
Now,
home.
why? Wait a second. You're worried about Illinois when Illinois is going to have that game at home. We've got a tough schedule going into it, and they're returning 19 starters. Why?
Yes.
Why on earth would you be
Yes.
concerned? Why would you be concerned about that game there, B?
Hey, listen, man. I'm just telling you, and I'm looking at how it's wedged too. We got to go at
Oh yeah.
Washington.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
which is tough. We know that's tough. Minnesota, I mean, that's a physical football team. I mean, they're not, we're going to beat them, but it's still a physical football team. At Illinois and then at Wisconsin, back to back. No bye.
Okay. What's the chance that at Illinois game's the night game too? Give me the odds on that.
98%.
Exactly.
That is going to be the game of the century for Illinois.
Yeah.
That is their
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and of course, after the Wisconsin game, look at this 3-game stretch. Illinois at Wisconsin, and then Penn State at the crib. Now we got them at home, but that's two bruisers
Yeah.
back to back. Now we do have a bye week before Penn State, so thank God for that. But I mean, then we got at Purdue, UCLA, Rutgers at Michigan. So our schedule was not easy at all. So to your point, Nevada, absolutely. If this continues, I'm fine with jettisoning, big games in the beginning because we're going to have a tough schedule, and then we got the playoffs. So
Well, just the inequities between like you look at Illinois' schedule this year, and like they avoid playing. I can't remember who, just like Oregon, Penn. I mean,
yep,
they like
yep,
some teams are running the baton death march, like Ohio State is this year, and other teams are just waltzing. I mean, last year. Penn State's schedule could not have been easier last year. The only game
terrible.
they had was us, and it was at home. And then you've got other teams that are running a gauntlet. So until they could even that out, man, auto qualifiers, and until they can kind of give you a chance to earn your path into the college football playoff with those playing games, that 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 5 format, or whatever they do with it. I just you've got to do it with schedule. You've got to win with schedule, and the way you win with schedule, it's like kind of in golf. They say, how do you win a bet in golf? You win it on the first tee, and the negotiation by how many strokes you're getting and everything else like that. It's like, how do you win on schedule? Well, you just schedule cupcakes, man. That's what it's not. It's not scheduling Georgia and Bama and Texas and these monster home and homes. That's not the meta anymore. The meta is Louisiana Monroe, Mercer, Villanova. I mean that's the meta in terms of scheduling, and I just wish the good news is Ohio State's figuring that out, and
Yeah,
I was really pleased to see that. That made me happy and certainly gave me optimism about the future.
for sure. All right, so I want to pull something up from my Twitter real quick, and then if there's no super chats coming in, we can go ahead and close her out. But I did want to show this, and I wanted to get your thoughts on this, Nevada, because I don't think I've ever asked you where you stand
Hmm.
on this topic, and it's related to uniforms. And I'm about to pull this up here. I want to know if you are a traditionalist, a get off my lawn guy, or are you a new hotness like Men in Black, new hotness, like you're open to different things when it comes to the uniforms? Because listen, here it is right here. These helmet concepts. This is I believe this is one of Ohio State's designers. I believe, I'm not sure, but he did different renditions. Well, obviously we know that one. This one is always beautiful. Now, these are the two we haven't seen. This is a scarlet version of the color palette of the uniforms. But this right here, Nevada, this right here, sweet Jesus, this is beautiful. Like this right here, we need to wear this. Now, with that said, I posted it on my social media. Most of the people were feeling it, but of course you had some people who wasn't. What is your take on uniforms, throwbacks, alternates, and specifically on these? You
Well, let
likey
me
or no likey?
let me ask you a question. We've been doing this podcast for a month. We've known each other for a bit. Where do you think I fall on this one? What do you think? Am I a get off the lawn type of guy, or am I like let's roll with the news? I just want to see how this is kind of like the dating game where they're like asking people, like ask your 2,000 people, ask your spouse, where this. So I'll say, B Moses, what do you think the answer to this question is?
All right, so I'm going to tell you what my perception is of what your outlook is on this. Okay, I think you love the tradition, but you're open to new stuff, but just don't go too far with it. That's my perception. Like basically, you don't mind a little bit here and there, but don't go too far with it. Is that wrong or right?
You're wrong. You're
Oh,
wrong.
so what is it?
I'm a go full blown Oregon football. Let's have a different helmet design.
Oh, I would have guessed that.
Yeah,
I would have guessed that.
you know why? Because the kids love it.
Yeah.
The kids love it. I'm telling you, when you talk to Oregon players, they get geeked about getting the new gear every week and doing the thing and the different designs. And so I'm all about anything that gives us an edge, even if it's a 1% edge or something like that. People think we're cool, think people think we're cutting edge. I am not. a traditionalist at all at Ohio State. I'm just
Interesting.
not. So I am whatever looks good, whatever. I've told this story before. This might have been before your time. You might not have heard the story, but I was the one who brought the idea to Ohio State about having them wear black jerseys in a game.
Oh
And
wow,
I opt. This was Andy Geiger was the athletic director, and I went to the full thing.
that's a
I
while
offered
ago.
I offered to pay for all the I would pay for the jerseys, and
Is
that
this a
Ohio
true
State.
story?
True story that Ohio State
Wow.
would come out, and this is when we were struggling against Michigan, when we were having trouble against Michigan, we were losing and this and that. And I had suggested kind of like the way that Notre Dame kind of went out the one time and then came back out in the green jerseys back, but before they did it all the time, and they had this humongous effort against USC and won the game, blah blah. I said let's do it with black jerseys. The black
Mm.
jerseys is called it was in practice it's called the pride jersey. You wear it, blah 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 blah, and I had it all geared up. I was going to pay for. I was going to foot the bill, and Andy Geiger liked the idea and went back, and the old head traditionalists at Ohio State shot it down and said, "Nope, we are not going to do something like that. That's just too. That's too
Mm.
much. Too
Mm.
a bridge too far." So
They
that
weren't
was
ready.
that was a young Nevada buck. That's a true story. That
Aggressive
absolutely
Nevada buck too.
aggressive Nevada, but no, I was on it, man. I'm like, well, because one, I wanted to. We were in a long streak of losing against Michigan, and I'm like, can you imagine at the stadium? We go out and warm up and the thing, and then we come out in the black jerseys. I mean, the place would have just blown the lid off the thing. Um, couldn't get it past the thing. So no, Nevada Buck is a let it all hang out. If we had 16 different uniform combinations a year, I would. I'm down. I'm for it. I surprise you. I'm versatile, but
Yeah, you are. I'm definitely surprised.
that's
I
where
mean,
I'm at, man.
I didn't think you were just like a stuffy stick in the mud curmudgeon, but
No,
I
but
thought
I'm
there
the
was a
no,
limitation.
no. There are no limitations for Nevada Buck when it comes to this stuff.
That's
I
great.
I'm not like even on the band and the songs and the thing and no DJ and no music and this and that. I am Man, I am banana ball. I am let's go crazy. Let's go. I mean, all of our minor league things were like the Dayton Dragons, man. It's a show. We decided when we did that stadium, we're like, you know something, we can't control whether we win, we can't control whether we lose, but we can control whether you have a good time. And that's why we went out with the show. That's why we sold out every game for 18 years in a row because we put on a show. We were banana ball before banana ball took over the thing. And I give Jesse Cole and those guys all the credit in the world. But no, I'm Bill. I'm closer to Bill Veck than I am Gordon Gee or anything like that. I'm a total go for zany.
Yeah,
You might not know that.
that made me think of Will Ferrell and the Flint. What's the movie Tropics? Flint Tropics. Semi Pro. You ever seen Semi Pro with Will
Oh,
Ferrell?
of
Okay.
course.
Yeah, you talking about put on the show? Hilarious movie.
Put on a show.
But now, real quick, and then we will close out. Are you? This may be a dumb question based off what you said, but would you be in favor of them rocking these all white joints in Ann Arbor in the big blouse in
Uh,
November?
I mean, look, the cocaine whites have always been the best jersey of all time. When
Beautiful.
Cornelius Green would wear the jersey and stuff like that, and Corny Green with the big white socks and everything like that. Oh, I mean, to me, that's like prime Ohio State football. It just does not get any more beautiful than that. And that's my all-time favorite. I like the black, and I like the all black, and I like the all white. Those are my all-time favorite
Yeah.
combinations. Either one makes me very happy.
Yeah, we got to make these happen. These are all white joints with the white helmet. Oh, man, those are just
Oh,
beautiful.
that's
Absolutely
beautiful.
beautiful. And so we actually got a, super chat real quick. I know we got a hard stop tonight. Dev will be hopping on at 9 p.m. We got DWYL9WW. Thanks for the two. King Joseph Edwards DN now in the portal, 4 years left. Yep. I think he's been in. Well, I think is he officially in the portal now? I know it was hinted that he was in, and I know Ohio State has interest. So we'll definitely be looking into that to see what's up with that because they did offer him, out of high school and they like him a lot. So a good call out on that. And then one last thing. Remember, y'all, we got a big show tomorrow. Buckeye Scoop guest season is kicking off. We're going to start having some guests on the show. I'm already making calls and texts and getting stuff lined up. Sports Talk J. the fantastic podcaster for Tennessee football, is coming on the show tomorrow, y'all. And so we're going to talk and collaborate about the Michigan scandal and their perspective from the Tennessee SEC standpoint. And he's done a great job of covering this. He single-handedly has debunked the notion from Michigan fans that nobody cares but Sparty and Ohio State. Him and many others, but he's been at the forefront. So we're very excited about that. Also, we got Jordan Hall, former Buckeye Jordan Hall, who we love. He'll be on the show soon as well. We'll get you the dates and all the other stuff. And I got more stuff cooking, more guests coming as we get into fall camp in August. So we're very excited about that. You got anything on that, Nevada?
No, I'm excited about guest season. I'm excited. Like, I'm excited about the season. We got guest season. We got fall camp. We got the Tennessee or the Texas game coming up. But tomorrow night's going to be a good show. If you're not listening tomorrow night, you're missing out, because that's going to be a fun show. And like these videos, like this video tonight, like the video tomorrow night. Give us the likes, comments, always help us out, and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. And one last thing, we're going to try to get Intrinsic on here. And Nevada, meant to tell you, he's down. It's just a matter of when.
That's awesome.
So Intrinsic, the one we reference on Twitter all the time, great guy, excellent person as far as, like, following this scandal and pulling out receipts. We're going to get him on here too. So guest season is underway. All right. So listen, we will see y'all tomorrow for the big show. Get ready for Dev at 9 p.m. And we see y'all later, Scoop family. Hold on real quick. Super chat. We got enough time. Thank you for coming in before we signed off. Joshua Dillon 728. Thanks for the 10. Y'all see that Steve D8 says Michigan 8-1 in the Big Ten and 10-2 going to the Big Ten against Penn State, and 7-2 and 10-2 losing to both Scum and Penn State. What a joke. Listen, I'm not shocked. He's full blown just crazy mode. So this does not shock me at all. Does it shock you, Nevada?
Now ask him if he wants to bet. If he wants to, we'll lay a little wager. We'll lay a little wager on that. If he's willing to back that up with some green, to say, hey Steve, I got somebody that might be your Huckleberry on that. But
I'll be your Huckleberry.
I'll be your Huckleberry on that one. So 10-2 losing it to Scum and Penn State. Okay, yeah, I'll take that action.
Yeah. So somebody tag him at Michigan Podcast on Twitter and say Nevada Buck said, let's bet then.
Let's go. Bet.
So
Ono.
There's that. Yeah, absolutely. But cool. All right. Appreciate y'all. We will see y'all tomorrow. Go Bucks and peace.